Guys, just give me final confirmation if my voice is loud and clear. Then we can begin with the lecture. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. So let's start our today's lecture. So today's lecture is also really, really interesting. So this is also basically related to each and every food that we eat in our daily lives. So before beginning our lecture, I would again, would like to bring some positive vibe in our virtual class. So if you see on your screen, when life seems to beat you down, dare to fight back. So I mean, yeah, this is very very true thought. We every day we face with challenges in our life, and we need to beat them down and fight them back to achieve our goals. So, with this positive note, let's begin with our class. So, guys, today it's class fifth, and we'll be covering the overview of nutraceutical and functional foods. So, again, if you see here, FSSAI exam has clearly defined overview of nutraceutical and functional compounds. So, we'll be reading about what nutraceuticals are, what functional foods are. So, guys, to begin with, I would like to clarify here. So, what is the major difference between nutraceuticals and functional food? So, functional food basically are the natural foods. So, the bioactive compounds which are present in the food, I mean, natural food. For example, you eat tomato, right? So, tomato have bioactive compounds. So, when we eat raw tomato, or when we add that tomato in our vegetable, when other our mothers cook that food by adding the tomato, so that tomato is a functional food because it has certain bioactive compounds which can, it helps us to overcome various diseases, or I mean it prevents or it protects us from various diseases, and we'll talk about those diseases later in our class. And on the other hand, if you see nutraceutical, so nutraceuticals are not natural food. So the nutraceuticals basically the natural biological component, it's extracted from the food. For example, um, from tomatoes, the bioactive compound is extracted from that tomato, and it's packed, it's processed, and it's packed in the capsule form. So we'll cover this in detail. Once we move on, you will understand it better. So this is just the major difference, and when we proceed in our class, I'll explain you this better. So moving ahead, so basically, guys, why there is need of functional food and nutraceutical in our daily life. So as you all know, I mean, our lifestyle has completely changed. So what India was, you can say like 30 to 40 years back, now it has completely changed, right? I mean, when we talk about 1980s, so during 1980s, Indian economy was a closed economy. So foreign companies could not come and do business in India. But in 1990s, when Indian economy opened up, so majority of these foreign companies, they came to India, they had set up their business. So in those businesses, even the processed food chain, especially from the United States, for example, McDonald's, Subway, and other burger joints, so KFC, all these major food giants, they came to India. And majority of that US food chains, they are majorly the fast food chains. So fast food is the major cause of uh, if you see the stress that we have, and obesity and the diabetes. By the way, India is becoming the diabetic capital of the world. So these change in lifestyle over the year, they have, I mean, destroyed India's culture completely. Not only our thoughts, but also the way we eat, right? So the influence of Western culture is more on India, and this Western food has completely changed our eating habits, and it has given us more stress, more diseases, and all that. So now, if you see, so our current lifestyle, our eating habits, the stress factors, because everyone now, since Indian economy is open up, so everyone goes to work these days, even mother and father both work, right? So this has led to stress. Then there are environmental factors, because environmental has changed over the year extensively, and there is intensive use of synthetic chemicals in food processing and agriculture, as you all know. In order to increase the production of the crop, lot of chemicals are being used. Harmful chemicals on large scales are being used in food production. And not only that, even in processed foods, as we have been discussing in our previous classes, that processed foods, they have a lot of chemicals, preservatives, and ingredients. Those are chemical based. So all these factors, they are just spreading diseases in India, not only in India, across the globe. So they radically increase the progression of several human diseases. As you all know, see, these multiple factors, they increase all these, several human diseases have been caused by all these factors. So moving ahead, so to overcome all this, for example, uh, you say, I mean, if both mother and father are working, so sometimes, since mothers also have to go to office, they are not able to. It's not that they don't want to, but time does not allow them. They are not able to cook the nutritious food. So people more in larger cities, for example in Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, so people, they shift to fast food, right? So to from fast food, as you know, you cannot get all the nutrients which is required by your body. So in order to give all those nutrients which are essential for our body, nutraceuticals were developed. So nutraceuticals, as I said, active compounds are taken from the natural food, and then they are processed, and then they are packed in the form of capsules or tablets, and they are sold in the market. So that is what nutraceuticals are. So let's discuss it in details. So first of all, we'll talk about functional foods. So what are functional foods? So as you can see on your screen, so here, if you see here, it's fenugreek, tomato, then garlic, ginger, everything, right? Turmeric. So these are majorly functional foods. So let's talk in detail. Right. So natural foods that contain known and unknown biological compounds. So natural foods. So functional food, as I said, first of all, functional foods are natural foods. So in functional foods, the bioactive compound is not extracted. We consume this functional food in our daily diet. You might have seen, I'm sure, like our mothers, they add garlic, ginger, turmeric, and other spices and herbs every day to our all the meals, be it breakfast, be it lunch, or be it dinner. So majorly these are the functional foods. So we'll discuss in detail why on the first place these items are added to the food, because they have lot of benefits to our body. So, and we'll also compare, like, why shift in diet is causing, uh, due to shift in diet, there is increase in cancer, diabetes, obesity, all that. So if you see functional foods, so natural foods that contain the biological compounds. So these foods are non-toxic. Definitely these foods are non-toxic as we consume it every day. And they effectively provide clinical proven documented health benefits like prevention and management of chronic disease. So these foods, as you all know, we consume daily. So there is a reason why these foods are consumed daily, especially in Indian diets, Indian food, right? So they help to prevent and manage chronic disease. So what these chronic diseases are, we'll see this in our next slide. So moving ahead, so we'll talk about these commonly consumed functional food in our everyday life. First of all, we'll talk about garlic. So in this class, guys, what you have to remember basically is, what are the functional foods. For example, I have taken the example of these 5 functional foods. So we're talking about the biological compound, the main compound that is responsible for therapeutic effect. So you remember this name, this the name of the food, the biological compound that is responsible. and the therapeutic effects it has. So three things you have to remember. So we'll be talking about garlic, we'll talking about ginger, we'll talking about fenugreek, we'll talking about turmeric and tomato and so on. I have only covered the five of these major food items, right? So there are many. I mean, you guys can go and read on internet if you like, but these are the major compounds. Sorry, major foods. So moving ahead, if you talk about garlic, so garlic is a spice or herbs which is used every day, and it is rich in sulfur compound. So if you see, it has 33 compounds. So here 33 compounds are present in this, right? In garlic. So these are the active compounds which are responsible for the therapeutic effects it has. So you know, I mean, it's a known fact, garlic is used in each and every Indian house. Maybe not in, Jain houses, because Jain people, they don't prefer this. But yeah, I mean, majority of the houses, be it north to south or be it to east to west, each and every household, they add this garlic in their daily diet. What's the fact why it is added on the first place? If you see, it has a numerous benefits, because this garlic, it acts as an antimicrobial, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and it also improves heart health, right? So I mean, everything is, all the major the things, I mean, it can be antimicrobial, it can be anti-cancer, so it protects us from all major diseases. So for example, as you know, cancer and diabetic, these are the major disease which are spreading in India, right? So that is why majorly garlic is used in our Indian diet. But now, as I mentioned before, I mean, now the Indian diet is changing, right? So now people are more, shifting towards easier cooking. I mean, they buy canned food, packed food, even, packed parathas, ready to eat parathas. Everything is available. But guys, mind you, those foods, they really lack in essential nutrients which we can get from natural food. So that is why, in India, even in India, the cases of cancer, diabetes, and heart diseases, that is increasing. And in case you are consuming natural food, you are, you are consuming right food actually, so you can protect yourself from all these diseases. So now moving ahead to our next functional food. So the next functional food is ginger. So ginger also, as you all know, it is very prevalent in our Indian diet. We consume it almost every day, right? So in this, if you see, the major bioactive compound is gingerol. So guys, this is what you have to remember: the functional food and what's the bioactive compound in that is responsible for all these therapeutic effects. So if you see in ginger, the bioactive compound is gingerol. So it is responsible for much of ginger's medicinal properties. So if you see, even ginger, it is a, it is a powerhouse. It has bunch of therapeutic effects. If you see, the major one is it prevents cardiovascular disease, and it prevents oxidative stress, hypertension, inflammation, nausea, and anti-mutagenic and carcinogenic properties, right? So I mean, if you are consuming these foods in your daily diet, then there is no point, or there won't be any, possibility that you might face with all these disease issues in your life presently or maybe in future. So I would recommend, highly recommend, if you guys are not consuming, but definitely since you guys are from India, definitely your mothers would be ensuring that these functional foods are being added to our food. And but now I'm sure, like, it has further added to your knowledge that why these products are added at initial place, right? Why our mothers use these products daily in our natural diet. So moving ahead, so guys, here you have to just remember the name of the product, the name of the compound, and the major 4 to 5, therapeutic effects it has. Although there was no question from this part in 2019 exam, but yeah, I mean, they can ask this time, and this topics are really interesting because you can relate to these things every day in your life. And if you try to relate it, if you go to kitchen, if you see ginger, if you try to recall like what you read today in the class, so I mean you are practicing it every day. That is the beauty of this, FSSAI exam, that you can relate it to the whatever you see. For example, guys, I mean food is the only thing that you don't miss. You can miss your college, you can miss your job, you can miss your jogging, but food is the thing which we consume at least 2 times a day, even not 3 but 2 times a day. So whenever you eat, just see what all things are added, what all ingredients are added, and try to relate it to the to this. For example, if you eat ginger today, ensure that what are its properties. So that is how you prepare for this exam. So it should be a holistic approach, right? So moving ahead, so now the next functional food that we're going to cover is fenugreek. So fenugreek, if you see, so furanol glycoside is the main bioactive compound in fenugreek, and it is responsible for the fenugreek's major medicinal properties. For example, guys, I mean fenugreek is very very basic thing that you can find in your kitchen, right? Fenugreek is nothing but methi. So for example, now in North India, it's gonna be a winter season. So in winter season, a lot of our households, we consume methi, right? So I mean, yeah, this time when you consume methi, make sure like try to relate, try to remember what all properties it has. And also you would have seen the fenugreek seeds in the kitchen. So whenever you have a stomach ache, right, or gastrointestinal problem, right, so your mother might be giving you fenugreek, right? So the major why they does is because it has they has gastroprotecting properties. That is why your mothers, they give you fenugreek whenever you have a stomach ache. So it is also, and also in case if in your family anyone is diabetic, you might have seen they consume fenugreek every day. They soak these fenugreek seeds at night and they consume it in the morning empty stomach. So I mean keep observing these things right now on, so that you can relate why this process is done. Whatever food anyone is consuming, there is a reason for that. So that is why fenugreek is consumed every day by any person who is diabetic, because it has anti-diabetic properties, and also it is antioxidant, and it is also good for our cholesterol level. It lowers down our cholesterol levels, right? I hope guys it's clear till here. Just give me thumbs up if things are clear. So then we'll move ahead. Just give me thumbs up if things are clear. In case you guys have any doubt, you can approach me on WhatsApp later on whenever the class is done, right? And also, right, and also in case you lose the connection, if you are not able to listen to me, if voice is not audible, just leave the class and rejoin it again on the link that we have shared, right? Okay. So guys, hypocholesterolemic is nothing. It is here that there's a typing mistake. It is hypo, hypocholesterolemic means it lowers down the cholesterol level in our body, right? Okay. So now moving ahead. So now the major of food that is added, I mean the ingredient that is added to our food, turmeric. So turmeric, I mean be it north, be it south, be it east, be it west, be it any region of India, turmeric is the major ingredient which is used in our food every day, each and every day, right? So if you see curcumin is the one of the bioactive compound which is found in turmeric, and it is only the compound which is responsible for all the clinical properties that turmeric has, right? So if you talk about the therapeutic effects of the turmeric, so I am 100% sure you guys might be knowing what are the effects of the turmeric, why it's consumed, and also if you see these effects, therapeutic effects, you can recall. whenever you have cough, cold, our mothers, they add some turmeric in the hot milk and they give it to you. So this is because it is the remedy against the cough and cold. It has the bioactive compound curcumin. So curcumin is so powerful that it can help you to, treat your cough, your cold, or your pain, or sinusitis, or liver disorders. And it is also used in food as a preservative because it has antimicrobial properties, right? That everyone knows, I'm sure. Turmeric has antimicrobial properties, so it acts as a preservative. It protects our food from microbial attack, and it also acts as a blood purifier, right? So moving ahead, so guys, these things are very, very basic. I mean, that is why I think FSSAI did not even ask any question from this topic, because these things are happening every day, but they want you to be ready for the job. I mean, when you join tomorrow, although there would be training for you guys, but training would be majorly on the surveillance point of view. For example, if you are going to the fields, what actions you need to take, what documents you need to carry, those all things. But these are the basic things which FSSI expects you guys to know, not only from the examination point of view, but also from the knowledge point of view. Because since you would be dealing every day with food, right? So it's no brainer. I mean, it's common sense. They want you to know all these basic things at least, right? So now coming to the next functional food, tomato. So here are two facts about tomatoes. So tomatoes are fruit, and this is not a vegetable, and it's fourth most consumed fruit in the world. Sorry, I have mentioned vegetable here. It's a fruit, right? Tomato is a fruit. So here it's a fruit. So it's the fourth most consumed fruit in our diet, right? So if you see, so tomato, they are rich in these three compounds, that is lycopenes. I mean, they are rich in carotenoids. So carotenoids are of three types. I mean, lycopenes, vitamin A, and vitamin C and E. So tomato is one of the very rich functional food that we consume every day in our life. In North India, our food contains tomato, be it any food. Even in South India, a lot of tomatoes are added in rasam, or I mean, be it your dosas, be it any food. So tomatoes are used on huge quantity. And if you see here the therapeutic effects, it prevents prostate cancer. So this is very, very important, especially for the males, because it protects male from prostate cancer. So prostate cancer is nothing, it is the cancer near your urinary bladder, right? So it's very important, especially for the males, to have enough tomatoes in their diet if they want to protect themselves from the prostate cancer or any chances of prostate cancer. And also it reduces cardiovascular disease. So cardiovascular disease, as you all know, heart diseases are on the rise, not only in India and across the globe. I mean, 40-year person is dying of heart attack. You would have recently heard in news. So one of the I mean, a star who was from movie lines. So that guy, he died. He was just 40 years. So I mean, cardiovascular disease risks are increasing these days on a very high scale. So all these functional foods, they protect us from these diseases, and also it has antioxidant properties and anti-diabetic properties. So guys, please consume these foods every day. And when you consume this food, just try to recall what are its benefits, what are its major bioactive compounds, and how it can protect you, right? There is a reason why we eat this food, right? So moving ahead. So now the next food that is cinnamon. So cinnamon, if you see, it has the cinnamonic acid as a bioactive compound. So cinnamon's major bioactive compound is cinnamonic acid, and it has the following properties. It prevents from hypertension, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, neuroprotective. So if you see, even cinnamon has lot of benefits. Cinnamon is also majorly used in our Indian diets, right? So these are its major benefits that it has, and it protects us from antimicrobial, anti-inflammation, and it also prevents from hypertension, right? I hope it's clear, guys. If things are clear, just give me thumbs up. So if functional foods are clear, Just give me thumbs up if functional foods are clear. And in case you have any doubt, just drop me a WhatsApp after our class. Right? I mean, these are very, very basic things, right? Yeah, since you guys are science students, you might have also read, or you might have heard at least, all these benefits, all these compounds, all these functional foods, right? So now let's move to nutraceutical foods. So guys, now if you see the major difference between nutraceutical and functional food. So functional foods, we consume it as a food, right? We do not remove those bioactive compounds. Have you seen your mother removing that bioactive compound from the food? I mean, from, for example, from tomato. Have you seen your mom removing lycopenes? No, right? We consume that tomato as such. So now in nutraceutical, those bioactive compounds are removed from the food. So after removing those bioactive compounds, they are processed, or they are added with other food ingredients, and they are packed in capsules or in tablets, or with other food supplements or other food diets. So now what I am saying is, I'll explain you with example in coming slides. So let's talk about nutraceutical foods in detail. So if you see nutraceutical food, so few basic facts. So the term nutraceutical, it was originally coined in 1989 by Dr. Stephen D. Felice. D. Fessel. So remember this name. I think it's D. Fessel, if I'm not wrong. So he combined the word nutrient. If you break down this word, so it is made up of nutra and ceutical. I mean, nutra comes from the nutrition, food nutrition, and ceutical comes from the pharmaceutical. So it's a word which is made up of two words, that is nutrient and pharmaceutical. So it was combined together to refer to the medicinal product or a drug, right? So in this, the nutrients, major nutrients from the food was removed, and it was added with other compounds to make it as a nutraceutical compound. So now if you see, nutrient deficiency is common contributor to illness and disease, as we all know. So if you don't take proper nutrition, it might lead to obesity, it might lead to diabetes, it might lead to hypertension, it might lead to stress. So if there are not sufficient nutrients, it causes major illness and diseases. But proper supplementation has shown to protect the body and enable peak performance of our body's function. So if we take proper supplements, for example, nutraceuticals are nothing but, you can also call them food supplements, right? It means you are supplementing your daily diet with the nutraceuticals. So if you take proper supplements, they protect our body and increase our body's function. So now moving ahead, if you see, so guys, I have taken the examples of the nutraceuticals which are present in the market. And here you can see our FSSAI has very, very beautiful logo for which you are working hard. So if you see uh, the first compound that we are going to talk about is omega-3. So omega-3 is very, very less in our diet these days. Earlier it used to be high, but these days omega-3 is decreasing and omega-6 is increasing. So that is the reason why there are such kind of companies which are minting money by selling you the omega-3 capsules. And mind you guys, these omega-3 fatty acids, these are extracted from the natural food only. As I said, these companies, what they do, for example, omega-3 rich foods are, for example, fish food. Fish food is really, really rich in omega-3, right? So these companies, what they does is, for example, salmon fish, mackerel fish, or herring fish. So these are the major fishes from which these companies, they go and they remove these fatty acids, right? So they remove these fatty acids and they put it in the form of capsules. So better than consuming these capsules, I would suggest you guys can directly have that food, right? So there is no point, extra. Yeah, I mean, for example, the guys who are vegetarian, right, it makes sense for them who cannot have those fish. But yeah, I mean, as far as possible, try avoiding nutraceutical and try to consume those food in whole. right? Because ultimately you would get those nutrients from this food. That is what these companies are doing. They are extracting the bioactive compounds and they are packing it in the beautiful packages in the form of tablets or capsule, and they are making money out of it. So now we'll talk about omega 3. So omega 3, as I said, it is very less in our Indian diet, especially. Not only Indian, everywhere. So, guys, now try to relate to your first lecture. So, in first lecture, we talk about macronutrients, micronutrients, right? So, in macronutrient, we also talk about fats or lipids. So, in lipids, we spoke about saturated and unsaturated. So, in unsaturated fatty acid, we read about MUFA and PUFA, right? So MUFA is monounsaturated fatty acids and PUFA is polyunsaturated fatty acids. So that polyunsaturated fatty acid is further divided into two. If you see on your screen, omega 3 fatty acid and omega 6 fatty acids. So they are nothing but they are the further subclasses of these are the further subclasses of lipids, right? Unsaturated fatty acids. So if you see, normally the healthy ratio of the consumption of these two fatty acids should be 1:1. So as per the scientific studies, every day we should consume, if for example, if we are consuming 2 grams of omega 3, we should also consume 2 grams of omega 6 fatty acid. But because of our diet, because of the food at presently that we are consuming, the ratio is seriously disturbed. If you see, the ratio of omega 3 to omega 6 in our current diet is 1:16. If you say this, but ideally it should be 1:9. So, sorry, 1:1. So this ratio is seriously disturbed, right? So there is a reason why it got disturbed. We'll talk about that in our next slide. So if you talk about omega 3, so in omega 3, there are two important acids, that is EPA and DHA. EPA is eicosapentaenoic pentanoic acid, and DHA is docosahexaenoic acid. Right. So remember these names and also the classification, as I said, you know, unsaturated fatty acids. So in unsaturated fatty acid, there are two classes, MUFA and PUFA. And in PUFA, there are these two classes, omega 3 and omega 6. And further, omega 3 has EPA and DHA, and omega 6 fatty acid, it has arachidonic acid. So just remember this name, guys, just for your knowledge and also from examination point of view, right? So this is what the ideal ratio should be in which we should be consuming these acids. But at current, we are consuming in this. So now what is the reason? We'll talk about it in next slide. What's the reason? So guys, if you see omega 3 fatty acids, these are majorly found in, you know, fish or be it eggs or be it or cauliflower, right? But these days, if you have seen, majority of the population is consuming these foods. If you see chips, fried foods, be it from McD, be it from Burger King, be it from any American food joint, not only American, even Indian food joints, you know, Indian food outlets, they are supplying these fast foods in high quantity. I mean, you just go around the market and you will see more fast food restaurants than your healthy diet restaurants, right? So that is the reason why, you know, these omega 6, this ratio is seriously disturbed, 1:16, because we are consuming these foods on heavy on, you know, on regular basis in high quantities. Not only chips, be it majority of the processed foods, those are cooked in oil. And also soybean, as we read, soybean is one of the most notorious food. So soybean is also high in omega 6. So that is why, you know, for example, most majority of the Indians are in, if you say, we are based on plant diet, right? So we do not take enough fish or enough eggs or enough oysters or enough, you know, all sources of omega 3. So that is why omega 3 capsule consumption becomes important in order to maintain that ratio, right? So now coming to the omega 3 capsule, in case you are consuming these capsules, or if you are taking the natural source, as I said, fish or eggs, so it has the following effects. It prevents dementia and it prevents Alzheimer's disease. So these are the major disease, which is, you know, these are the serious disease actually. Dementia, as you know, and Alzheimer's, as you know, you cannot remember things. You try to you tend to forget things. So these are Alzheimer's and dementia because of this effect, and also protects from cardiovascular diseases and lowers triglyceride and blood pressure. So these are the major benefits of the omega-3 fatty acids. So in case you guys are vegetarian, you can have the omega-3 capsules, and in case you guys can have non-veg, I would rather recommend go and have natural food, eat eggs every day, or try to incorporate or try to include fish diet, in your at least once a week or twice a month, right? So moving ahead. So guys, I hope it's clear till here. Just give me thumbs up, please, if things are clear, so that we can move ahead then. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. So we'll move ahead. So now let's talk about turmeric. So guys, if you see, I mean, turmeric is the very basic thing which is used in our Indian diet. And just see the heights. I mean, these companies are packing all those, uh, essential curcuminoids. As I said, this is one of the curcumin is one of the major bioactive compounds in turmeric. So these guys are extracting that bioactive compound, and they are filling it in the form of capsules or tablets, and they are making it a beautiful, providing it a beautiful packaging and selling it in the market. So I mean, how does it make any sense, guys, right? I mean, you consume turmeric every day, it is essential, it is part of our daily diet. So but since these companies, they want to make profits, so they do such things. They extract those bioactive compounds, they add it in the form of capsules and tablets, and they sell you at much higher rates, right? So now we'll be talking about turmeric. So turmeric as a supplement, right? So as I said, yeah, curcumin, again, we have already spoken about this, right? So major compound is curcumin in this. And if you noticed in the last picture, so those companies, they just extract this bioactive compound and they mix it in other food supplements and prepare a capsule or tablet out of it, and they market it as anti-cancer, antioxidant, anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, gastro health. It improves gastro health. So this is how these companies, they market you the disease. I mean, they would ask you to eat these capsules to protect yourself from cancer, diabetes, inflammation. But yeah, I mean, we Indians are also smart, because we eat turmeric every day, so we never buy. I mean, I have never bought such supplement, nutraceutical, especially turmeric nutraceutical in my life. I'm sure, 100% sure, even you guys would not have purchased such product, right? But yeah, I mean, these are available in the market, these are approved by FSSAI, and even people buy these. That is why these products are available in the market. So yeah, I mean, you need to read about them. You need to have a knowledge about them at least, so that when you go to the market tomorrow, when you join food safety officer, so you need to know, I mean, such products exist, right? So moving ahead. Yes. So the third nutraceutical food, that is resveratrol. So resveratrol, if you see, again, there is a product available in the market. So if you see how they market their product, that is cardiovascular support, free radical squenger with red wine extract. So resveratrol is nothing but it's a bioactive compound which is found majorly in grapes, grape skin, or berries. So I mean, if you eat these grapes or berries, I mean, you need not to ever take such nutraceutical in your life, right? Because they are providing you essential nutrients and essential therapeutic effects naturally, which are required for, or which are essential for your body. So now, moving ahead. So if you see resveratrol, so this is majorly found in grapes, as I said, grapes or berries, right? So one of the major sources, for example, wine. So these are found in berries and grape skin, and red wine is richest source, since red wine is majorly made up of grapes, right? So this compound, bioactive compound, is very potential, or very it's found in high quantity in wine. So if you say it's therapeutic effect, so I mean, yeah, I mean, you would have heard in your, at least once, that wine is good for your heart. So why it is good for your heart? Because it has this compound resveratrol. So what it does is it protects from LDL. If you remember, we have done about LDL. LDL is nothing but bad fat. It's also known as cholesterol. So it protects your body from the cholesterol level increasing in your body, right? And it also has antioxidant, anti-cancer effect, and it also protects against heart diseases, right? So that is why, these are the very, very basic compounds or the active compounds that you can consume in your daily life. You need not to go to the market and purchase these nutraceuticals. You can just consume them from your daily food, be it grapes or be it your other foods, right? So moving ahead, so now we'll be talking about quercetin. So quercetin is again another flavonoid. Flavonoid is nothing but a bioactive compounds which is obtained from the fruits. So if you see, quercetin is majorly found in onions, apples, or grapes. And again, if you see here, so these are the quercetin gummies. So now this company, what they have done is they have very smartly uh, you know to stand out of the competition in the market, so they have made gummies out of it. So if you see, it's marketed as dietary supplement. So I mean, there is no point buying these processed gummies and consuming it on daily basis. You can just grab an apple from the market and just have it every morning. An apple a day keeps a doctor away. That's a very, very beautiful saying, right? So you can just grab an apple, onion. I mean, it's consumed every day, north to east, south to west. Everyone eats consume onions, and also you can just add these fresh fruits to your daily diet. So now let's talk about what this quercetin is. So quercetin is a plant pigment, basically flavonoid. So it is found in many plant and foods such as red wine, onion, green tea, apple, berries. I mean, you can consume it from these natural foods. And if you see here the therapeutic effect, so it again has it again is anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and again hypocholestromic, and it also protects against heart disease. So guys, these are the major benefits which this compound, bioactive compound, has. So just supplement your diet with all these fruits naturally instead of going for nutraceuticals. So now moving ahead. So yeah, I mean this is height, eugenol. So this is the you know active compound which is found in cloves. So here this company, so smartly they are selling these you know quick release capsules. So they have extracted that compound, active compound eugenol, from the cloves, and they are making capsules out of it and selling it in the market. I mean, definitely Indians would never buy it because we consume even cloves every day in our daily diet. These are used in one or the other way in our food. So yeah, I mean, these companies are minting money out of it. So if you see eugenol, so it's a phenolic compound found in clove. So clove is consumed every day, and the therapeutic effects it is anti-cancerous, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic. So I mean, majority of, if you see, the majority of this functional food and nutraceutical food, they are anti-cancerous, antibacterial, antifungal. So guys, that is why Indian food is one of the top-notch foods. I mean, Indian foods, it is naturally so rich that we need not to have any supplements. But these days, as you all know, with the coming of this fast food chain, especially American fast food chains in India, our diet pattern has been destroyed on a large scale. So even we are shifting towards this fast food and packed food, canned food. I mean, basically ready to eat fast foods, right? But our culture is so rich, our diet is so rich. That is why it's a major reason why all these cancer cases are coming, increasing every day. Why this uh, diabetes is increasing every day, obesity rate is going high, and other diseases, the rate is becoming very high in India, especially because India population is so high. So I mean, as an FSSAI officer, it would be your duty, to spread awareness amongst the people of our nation. So, they can again go back to the roots, at least when it comes to the food, right? So we need not to, there is no need of consuming such nutraceuticals or such junk food, right? When all the essential components can be obtained from natural food, right? So yeah, moving ahead, I think, yeah, I think we are done with the lecture. So guys, this was the major point which the class which I wanted to convey you. So these are the natural foods that we eat, and what's the difference between functional food and nutraceuticals. And also guys, there are specific regulations. So these products are introduced in the market, right? And they are introduced with the permission of FSSAI. So FSSAI has passed few regulations, right? So we'll be talking about the nutraceutical functional food regulation, because FSSAI is very, very strictly controlling, the labeling of this food, the manufacturing of this food, the process which must be used for the production of these nutraceuticals. So there are specific regulations, there are specific rules. So we will cover those regulations when we cover the regulation part, right? So this is majorly science part of it, right? So I think things are clear, right? So if guys things are clear, just give me thumbs up if things are clear. So if you guys have any doubt, just after the class, just WhatsApp me. And guys, these are the very, very basic topics, since FSSI also mentioned overview. So we have taken the overview and I have mentioned you what you need to remember, what you need not to remember, right? So with this note, we'll catch up later tomorrow. And don't worry, we'll cover all the regulations, we'll cover all other important topics. And also guys, uh, FSSAI Act, if you go to my YouTube channel, so we have covered it till section 83. So I would request all of you guys to please visit our YouTube channel, because I've covered it in detail, right? Just started from the first section and cover it to till 83rd section. So please go to YouTube channel, watch those section, because I think there is no point repeating that again. So please go and watch those sections of FSSAI Act, because FSSAI Act is really, really important. And in case you have any doubt, I'll you can approach me. I'll definitely help you with that doubt, right? So guys, with this note, we'll finish our lecture and we'll see you tomorrow then. And also guys, you will receive the next class link and the video of this class and the presentation around 10 p.m. So please kindly don't message me, because yesterday a lot of students were messaging me for requesting me for the class. Don't worry guys, this material belongs to you and I'll give it to you, right? I'll share this presentation, I'll share the video, the link would come to your WhatsApp around 10 p.m. So please give us some time, we'll do that, right? So guys, thank you so much, thank you for listening me so patiently. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, take care, goodbye, good night.